You have just clicked one of the channels regarding aviation. Do you think that you are one of the aviation enthusiasts? Even if you are not, you're at least interested in aviation. Today, I'll give you 6 questions that might prove you're an aviation enthusiast. I believe that ordinary people would not be able to answer these questions. Whether you're an aviation enthusiast or not, just check out how many questions you can answer. Let's hit the road. One day I asked this question to my wife and daughter, who have a captain husband and captain daddy. And they go like, about 30 degrees? At the moment, my son came out from his room and said, well, I don't think so. It's way too stiff. I think it's going to be around 15 degrees. What do you think is the angle between the airplane and the horizon of the Earth during the approach? It is 3 degrees, not 30. This is the normal approach angle for the airline aircraft. In some cases, it could be like 3.7 or even 4 degrees,
50, 40, 30,
but it's really rare cases.
retard.
It depends on the airplane category and weather, and of course how heavy it is. For a Boeing 787, the speed at takeoff with a maximum takeoff weight is around 170 knots. This is going to be 315 kilometers per hour, which is around 195 miles an hour. How about the landing speed? With maximum landing weight, it's around 150 knots, which is 288 kilometers per hour or 178 miles an hour. The fastest approach speed I've ever heard was the MD-11, which is almost 170 knots. Small propeller airplanes like Cessna 152 or 172 can climb up to 4,000 meters or 13,000 feet. This is like the limit altitude where normal piston engines can go. But normally they cruise below 10,000 feet because they don't have pressurization system. How about jet airplanes? Modern jet engines are able to put them as high as 43,000 feet or 13 kilometers. Do you remember this gorgeous looking supersonic jet? Yes, this is the Concorde, which was terminated its operation in 2003. The maximum operating altitude for this Concorde was 60,000 feet or 18,300 meters. How awesome! You must have seen the airplanes move along the center lines on the ground. The term for the movement of the airplanes on the ground is called a taxi. Haven't you ever wondered about how the big airplanes can taxi right on the center lines? You might think that there must be a special device to help pilots to taxi correctly. But it's not. Basically, pilots have to follow the center lines on their own eyes and experiences. What that means is they must have their own kind of imaginary reference point to stay on it. The reference line is the center of the pilot's body. So the line on the ground always passes the center of the pilot's body while taxiing. More specifically, it's a bit off to the right for the captain, because captain is sitting in the left seat. Today's big guys like 777-300 or Airbus A380 have the ground camera. But this camera is to monitor when they turn in small intersections. because they have super long wheelbases.
It's been reported that
I was
pilots
shocked.
sometimes
Still, lots
also
of
threw
people
the
think
full
that the
bucket
airplanes
on their
dumped the
targets,
toilet
which can
waste
be
in the
noted
air.
as
And they say that they're hurt. It would be okay because once they're dumped overboard, the toilet things will be widely spread out and disappear, so they never get to the ground. No, that's not correct. This is absolutely wrong information. Somebody must have made it up. All the airliners have the tank to contain the toilet waste, and every time they land, a truck comes to the airplane and the tank is emptied before the next departure.
Steering a car
The
with
answer is
rotate
steering wheel
in
just
that
like the cars.
respective direction.
If you
As you
said so,
taxi around
it
the
would be
airport,
only
stay
half
on the
correct.
center line of the taxi.
Most of airliners have steering wheel, which is the same as cars. And pilots use this steering wheel for taxiing, but only for taxiing. Nose gear can turn up to about 70 degrees with less than 90-degree turn of the steering wheel. It's almost double the one in cars, which is around 35 degrees. And to get this maximum turn in your car, you're going to have to turn your steering wheel more than twice. Now, you know how sensitive the steering wheel in the airplane is. As I said earlier in this video, the speed of takeoff is more than 300 kilometers. For this reason, pilots never ever use the steering wheel during takeoff mode. Rudder pedal is the one that pilots use for directional control for takeoff.
Also, a small
Applying
amount of
full
lag
rudder
when you press
gives
the rudder when
maximum
the
of
plane
8
actually
degrees
starts to
only.
turn. So anticipate leaving
Okay, today we've done sort of aviation enthusiast things. And of course, these are just for fun. And I always respect you as a viewer, as a subscriber, and as an aviation enthusiast. If you got at least one right, you're already into aviation. You're an enthusiast. Thank you so much for watching, and see you in the part 2 of this.
One 50, 40, 30, 20, retard, reset.